Hi everybody, it's Julie, and I know I've really been dragging my feet on getting this other journal ready, but I thought we'd go ahead and see what we could do about getting this book started. So I have chosen a book that might not be the best book, but we're going to try it, okay? So we're going to go ahead and what I call break the book. Push this down right here. So I'd like to welcome you to my channel. I am Julie. I am the CEO and Queen Creator here at Dear Julie Julie and Dear Julie Julie DIY. Here we make junk journals. That's mostly what we do. We do some other paper crafting and fun stuff as well. We have videos at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time and 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time each day right now while we're home. So we have a special thing going on. Our 4 o'clock is our Beginner's Junk Journal series, and we've been making junk journals one right after the other. We made a journal that we used a composition book as our cover, was our first journal. Then we used then we did a regular soft cover journal, and then we did a cereal box journal. Now we're working on our Reader's Digest journal, and you found us here today at Mayhem, which this is going to prove to be part of it right here, this little book. So I chose a book that is glued to the edge. Okay, so that is actually not good. If you can help it, you don't want to do that. But I wanted a larger book for this journal. And you know what? Once it's here and it was purchased to be a junk journal, I'm going to figure out some way to use it. And I really do want to use the original spine if I can. And just reinforce it. But that may not be... yeah, I think it's gonna. Yeah, I think we're gonna be able to do it. Okay, so really, what you want is you want a book that you can see from the top all the way down to the bottom. Okay, you don't want a book that is glued to the spine like this one is. It just causes problems. Okay, but there you go. You don't want 3 martini lunch from the dollar. I think this was actually Dollar General. Okay, so but it's a nice size book, and we'll be using the papers from Dollar Tree, the little white paper book that you can get to. Okay, this is the fabric that I have chosen. So I don't know if you can imagine that with the Mayhem girls. So that didn't work, obviously. Oops. I better check that. Sorry about that. Getting the paper out, knock things over. Okay, so I am going to use, this one is not going to fit. If I'd have done it the other way on the last one, it might have fit. Okay. Okay. So what I need is I'm going to need 2 pieces that are going to fit into that spine. At least 2. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and come on over here and measure it. So if you watch the Reader's Digest video, then you've seen something very similar. Something very similar to this. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go to right there, I think. me try this again. Okay. So let's go ahead and we'll cut 2 of those. Okay, we're going to cut 2 of those. We'll just see how far we can get with this. Okay. So there's one. Go ahead, put these together. And that makes 2. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. Unfold it. Okay. And then we're going to want to make sure that they fit, and they do. Okay, so good fit. And then let's go ahead and figure out where we need to cut that. Okay, so the old pinch and twist, pinch and bend technique. And we're going to need it here as well. Now we'll make sure that we cut inside that line. Okay, because we drew it on the outside. Okay, so there we go. We've got our 2 reinforcement pieces. And now we're going to go ahead and grab our glue. And so let's see. So it has a top. Let's see if we can get it to come out the bottom. Every time I do this, it doesn't. Every time I do this, I pick one that won't go. And again. Well, here, let's do this one. Okay, so this is the Mono Tombow liquid glue. And if you put the top on, pull the bottom off, you have the broad tip bottom down here, and you can go ahead. I'm going to make sure that that paper gets its own glue under it and over it. Okay. So I haven't picked my fabric yet for the inside. So we'll just get this set up, and we'll be doing the outside fabric today. Okay, so this and the outside fabric. I need to do a shorter video to make sure that it gets processed and gets up. I'm behind those. And I really want to be on time. So, okay. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and put the first one down. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up, grab some glue to make sure I have glue on the whole piece of that. And then make sure it goes from the top to the bottom, and then make sure that I can close the book. Okay, that's very important. You need to be able to close your book. Okay. And you're going to want to hold this down. Okay, now we'll go ahead and we're going to add the second one. Make sure let's put as much glue on as we can. Get the glue on. Rub it around. Okay. Go edge to edge because they're the same size. We're going to be attaching two pieces that are the same size. So we want to go edge to edge. So we get the full piece. Okay. Okay, we lost the footage of I cut out a piece of fabric. I put down the glue and I have glued the fabric into the center, and I'm just making sure that these areas next to where we added the spine are staying open. That's my main thing, is to make sure about that. Our spine feels really, really good, and so yeah, so we'll be on to the next part, and I think, like, what should I... Okay, so we'll be on to the next part, which is going to be adding our beautiful tapestry material. I think this is going to be really, really great for this journal. And we do have this cool frayed edge. Let's see. Okay, so this is for the French Fashionista is the digital that I've been using in this, for this journal. So, so I think that this is going to be really great. I want to make sure that I can get a good like inch around all of this. I'm going to go ahead and cut. I guess we'll turn. We're dropping things. Okay, so we'll turn this way, straighten it out, make sure we have a good inch there. We're going to come down, come across here. Okay, and we can pull this away, and then we can go ahead and cut our edge. Okay, so there's one edge, and here's our other edge. Still have a beautiful piece. You might remember this tapestry from the Pansy journal. Okay, so how are we... We're a little long over here. Long in the tooth over there. Okay, so I do want to make sure that I cut my corners, and I'm going to cut, we'll start with the bottom down here. So I'm just cutting across. We're going to go ahead and attach our tapestry onto the cover of this journal. So let's go ahead and you know what? We're going to use fabric tack today because it's a thicker fabric and it's right here. I have it. because I replenished my fabric tack. I'm so excited. So I added fingernail polish remover to my fabric tack. I'm putting, let's see if we can move this up. I'm going to put this all along here. I'm going to give it a pretty good coat. Okay. And because it's so thick, I'm not so worried about, that you're going to be able to see the lines through. I don't think you're going to see them through this. But I want to make sure that I've got good coverage. Come back. Now remember, your fabric tack dries pretty fast. And that's probably because of the acetone that is in it, which is why I was able to use. There we go. Okay, so this is for my French Fashionista May Mayhem Junk Journal for the May Mayhem Junk Journal Challenge. So I'm going to do the top, or the bottom. I don't know which way, actually. Guess I should look, huh? That's the bottom. I guess it doesn't matter. At this point, it doesn't matter yet. So, yeah, so I was able to add the fingernail polish remover to all my bottles. I had one bottle that was totally just sitting. It would not move at all, and even it is moving. So, it took a few days for that one. The others, I just kept turning them and squishing the bottles. Then I took all the bottles and I was able to get them into 2 bottles, except for the one that wasn't moving. And so I have like 3 bottles this size out of all the bits and pieces of the fabric tack that I had here. And oop, I forgot to cut the corners on that one. Oops, see, get talking, forget what you're doing. So I'm going to just outside the edge there. I only have 2 metal corners, so if I mess this up, I don't really have corners to fix it. Okay, so you want to make sure that it's going to stay down. Okay. So there's that. I'm going to turn it. Let's turn it this way. Okay. Let's see how we're gonna do this. We want to make sure that our corner is good. You can always put our glue on here. Put some extra glue in the corner. This is how I'm doing it. Hope you can see that. Okay, so I'm just adding, and like I said, usually I use my Tombow Mono liquid glue for everything, except for some things that I see that I need to do fast. But the other thing is, I think this type of fabric, the Tombow would just like not. Okay, I'm working on this corner over here. Working this corner, cleaning it up. Okay, come over here, pushing. So I'm pushing the corner up, and then gonna push it over. Let's get the rest of it up. Okay, get it up. And we're going to be covering this with paper, so, but not the corner. So we want the corner to be good and tacked down. Okay, I can come in and cut this. so it lays a little better. And we'll do the same on this side. So I'm going to come in and cut this. Okay, so I've got a mitered corner basically is what we've got going on here. Okay, so I'm really happy with that. I'm going to go ahead. We'll come back and add a little more to the corner on top of it. Let's see how we like this. I love it. Oh my gosh. So you guys, I've really struggled trying to figure out what the heck I was going to cover this journal with, and I think I'm going to be really happy with the choice here. Okay. So again, giving extra attention to the corners, and then making sure that we're prepared and ready for the flip up here. I want to thank all of you that have gone and purchased. Oh my gosh, I am overwhelmed. The digitals in the Dear Julie Etsy shop. I am so excited, and to see so many new names. Okay, so let's come over here and work this corner. Work this corner. Okay, I think we've got a little too much on this one. So we'll cut that. See if that helps. Oh yeah. Okay. Then we'll come up with that. Come in with that. Okay, so happy with this side. I know several of you have been waiting for this cover video. Like I said, I just couldn't decide what to cover with this theme, with this digital kit, and I think that this is going to be a really, really great choice here. And I'm glad that I didn't just rush in. Okay, so you see we have a mitered corner, and I just really worked these corners. Okay, this one's a little bunchy. So let's take a little. Okay, so I took a little bit off this one. We're going to go ahead and add more glue. Even when your fabric tack's almost full, it takes it a minute to get. It's like Heinz ketchup. Okay, so we're working this corner. This one's a little more bunchy. Okay, there we go. See? Work that down. Work it down. Oh, I love it. And then we'll decide which side we like the best. Okay. We have glue everywhere. Trying to decide. Okay. Oh my gosh. I love it. Oh my gosh. And let's see, how is this gonna look? We have our box. I've been putting all of our items in here. So just to give you a look of how they are gonna look with this. So I have not decided what we're gonna put on the outside yet. But at least we have a book. Yay! We have a journal cover. Okay, so now let's go ahead and we'll do the inside panels. And oh my gosh, I'm really, really happy with the way this turned out. Okay, so yeah, so now we have chosen a couple of different papers to use with this journal. I have these, and I have this. And I'm going to go with this on the inside, I think, for the inside panels. And let's go ahead and cut that piece off the top. And since we have 12 by 12 paper, and I think we can go ahead and I think we can use this as our okay. So there's my mark. Let's see where 6 inches is. Okay, so we can, I think we'll do it right at, we're going to cut this at 6 inches. This gives us a piece for each panel. Now remember, I'm using a larger book today. Okay, so we are going to end up cutting off a little piece, or a little too big. Okay, let's cut it down about that much. That way we can bring it in. Yeah, like that. And remember, I do each panel on its own. Okay, I don't just measure and do 2 that are exactly the same. Because sometimes your book will, or sometimes in my experience, sometimes your journals will end up with a different fold, giving you a different size to the front and to the back. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so if that was to go there, we can go ahead and flip up, but I think I want the roses. Okay, so we'll look at this and figure out. Okay, do we want to do this? Or do we want to do this? I like that. Okay, I like that. And I think we'll do it this way for this one. Okay, and this gives us the bottom of our pocket. The bottom is going to be closed, so that's a good thing. It'll be a sturdy point on this particular journal. Okay, so I thought we'd try a different type of closure. I have this in my stash. It is a lightweight burlap kind of ribbon with lace, and it's sewn on. And I just have this piece. Let's go ahead and measure what we have here. So 12. So 12 and 7, 19, 19, 36, 38. So just a couple inches longer than, I'm going to measure that again because that just seems kind of funny that it would be 38. Okay, so there's 12 right there. and 7. So, yeah. So, just 2 inches longer than a yard. I've got fabric tack on my fingers. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take these pages off and put them aside. And we're going to save these scraps right here. Okay, so I have this folded in half. Again, I have 38 inches. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull down about 4 inches. So maybe we should actually measure it for you. So 4 inches. If I had 40 inches, I would be happier, but I don't. Okay, so I'm going to go to 44 inches. So there's a 4-inch gap here. Come down. I do still have my center. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check this just to make sure that I can make a bow out of it. So I'm going to go to the center, come over to the side. I'm going to hold it on here, and I'm going to pretend like this is the outside of my journal. And I'm going to go ahead and tie it. Okay, so do the tie. And then I'm going to take the short side and I'm going to make my bow, my loop. And then I'm going to go around my loop with the longer side, come in, make my other loop, make a bow, just to get an idea if that is going to be enough. And you can see I'm going to end up a little bit longer and shorter. So I think 3 inches difference is going to be better on this particular ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and come back up and measure it to 3 inches. Okay, and so I'll have one strand that is 3 inches longer. Okay, for this ribbon, I want the black to show towards the front. I'm going to consider that the right side. I'm going to come over here. You might even mark your middle just so you don't lose it. So I'm going to use this pen here. I'm going to mark the middle and go ahead and put it down. Okay, so that's going to be where I'm going to put this. And we're going to go ahead. I'm going to use the fabric tack because we are putting fabric, and this will just make it go down so much faster. Okay, and so I want a good amount over here on the edge. Especially. Okay, so there on the edge. And then we can go ahead and add our strip. Okay, and you can, if you're worried about this, you can go ahead and measure. So we are at 3.5. Come here, and so we went down a little bit. So let's bring it back up. So we are, yep, closer. 3.5. Okay, and I want to make sure that that is down. I'm going to go ahead and glue my center. And you can go ahead and draw a line all the way across in here because you're not going to see it. Okay, now go ahead and measure here. And come over and measure here. Okay, so I'm going to put down where the glue will go. So in the last few journals, I've shown you a variety of ways to make your closures. And so this just gives us another way of adding a closure to our journal. And so, like I said, you do not have to measure. And 40 inches would be so much better. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry and put Chip out, and I'll be right back. So let's see how we are here. Okay, it's still drying, and it should work, especially with the fabric tack. It should not be a problem, but you can go ahead if you're noticing that you're getting wear and tear on that you could go ahead and sew that. Okay, so you see we are missing a little area here. So you want the whole piece glued down really, really well, especially on those edges. I especially don't want them to come in and tear on my paper. Okay, so there is what we got so far. And so now you might want to go ahead and add something here. I'm going to look and see if I have like some lace. I have my double lace that I like to buy this because I usually cut it in half, but sometimes it just makes a nice piece to go down the center and kind of take away from the roughness of all that. Another thing I could have done, I'm going to probably do 3 signatures in this journal, so it wouldn't work. But if you're doing just 2 signatures, I could have glued the 2 sides, and this could have been a place to hold a pen. And that would do double duty, because then it would look like it was meant to be there. We could add, if I had more of this would have been really cool to add down the center there, I think. But I don't, so let's see. So what about a piece of this? Piece of that. With that. Okay, I like that. What do you think? Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, so, and I think it's big enough. Okay. Okay, yeah, we're gonna add that. It's gonna be lots of stuff on here. We do need to cut it. Okay, do we want this on the top? Because we have the nice finished edge, or on the bottom. You know, I think you actually look at the bottom more. I'm going to go ahead and fray this side, I think. Just that little bit there. Cut off these. Okay, so let's do that down there. And then we'll come up and we'll cut this. We're going to cut this and we're going to give it So we just about have all of the elements ready for this journal. We just need pages done, right? Okay. Okay, yeah, This is not, it's not fraying in this direction as easy. Oh, there we go. I just had one stuck. Okay. Okay. So I do like that's more than what I want. Sorry. Okay. If we decide to fray, then we can fray it. Otherwise, we can cut it down. Okay, so sorry about that. It's a process, and it's you see how much time you're putting into it. You want to, you might want to take the extra time to make sure it's what you actually want it to look like, right? Okay, I'm going to use the fabric tack again, and remember, it does dry quickly, so I'm going to go from top to bottom. And I'm going to probably put the glue down on half, and then put my piece down. Okay, we're going to make sure we're in that groove. And then let's start going across the... Okay, here we go. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to put it down here where I know I want it. Come up, and okay, pull it down to where I really want it. There we go. Okay, make sure that that is down really, really well, and that we're going to be able to close it. It's going to be interesting, but we will. Okay. Come down, and now we'll go to the bottom part. So if you're wondering about the hats and accessories digital kits, I'm still working on them. There's so many pieces that had to be scanned because I mean to get a full kit. And I have wonderful pieces to use, and I want to make sure that I'm getting them all. So I'm having to go through my entire collection. And so do know that that is still coming. And as well as the Daisy kit, Daisy May, and the signature piece of that. I used it in my first merchandise, and my merchandise might show up down below this this video. It got approved, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So there's what I really wanted was a sweatshirt. So there's a sweatshirt. There's t-shirts. There's a tank top. A coffee mug. There's a sticker that has the Find Something to Celebrate Every Day on it, and it has this beautiful antique image of daisies. Oh, that scared me. I was like, what did I do? I thought I glued it to the outside. Okay, so I'm going to come up here and trim this along the top edge. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so beautiful. Okay, and this is still drying, but you see that those came right together, and we'll be able to tie this, and oh yeah, love it. Okay, so here we go. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, it's just beautiful. Okay, we're going to go ahead, because we're still on this crazy fabric that I love. We're going to use our fabric tack we're going to continue to use the fabric tack, and that's because we are on this thick fabric. Okay. And I don't want the Tombow mono might just go inside the fabric and not attach itself to whatever else is here. So if you're using a lighter weight fabric, I would definitely continue with your regular, whatever glue that you like to use for fabric. But I'm really thinking this one here needs to have the fabric tack. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that it's down on all sides. So I'm continuing to press it so that it is down on all sides, and then we want to do it in the center as well. Okay. Okay. So we have place there. Make sure. Okay. There, and we'll go ahead and secure this pocket in a minute. Okay, and then if you have an area that didn't take, go ahead and add some glue. Hold it. Because those things you see from the outside too. If you've got a little bubbly pocket. A bubbly pocket. There's a different kind of pocket. We don't want that kind. A bubbly pocket. I don't like bubbly pockets, and I cannot lie. Okay. So here we go. We're going to come and add the other side. And this is just really coming together, and I really like it. And I wouldn't have even thought about this particular paper, but when we were looking for paper for the Reader's Digest journal, and I saw this, and I was like, why aren't we using that in the Fashionista journal? Because it's perfect. Okay, so here we go. Make sure we've got some for the center. And get it down. Okay, so over to the corner, up to the top, into the center. Make sure that we can open it. So we're going to bring it over a little more. Okay, and then press it down. Start going all the way around the edges to make sure that it goes down. No bubbly pockets. Okay, see how nice it is there on the edge? Okay, even these corners, I want to make sure that they're down. No bubbly pockets. No. Okay, so lift it up, check it out. Okay, this is a very sturdy book. Okay. No bubbly pockets. No bubbly pockets. Okay, so there we go. And we're going to be able to tie this. We're going to let it dry a little more before we do, but that's going to tie, and that will be our closure for this one. Okay, and of course you can do the hobnob tie or closure, whatever type of closure. Actually, for this, you're supposed to have something that's absolutely fabulous. So we will be continuing to work on, I just remembered that. So we'll be adding more to make this closure absolutely fabulous. I'll show you what I did for my awesome closure last year for the May journal. I used this choker that I found in my mom's stuff, and it went around the outside of the book, the journal, and then it came across, and the chain hooks on here. And I was really excited about this because it can grow as this journal grows. So this is my journal where I'm putting memories of my mom, especially as I go through things and you just find some little things and that you want to keep. I wanted a place to keep them. So this is my May Mayhem journal from last year, and there is a full playlist, and I will try to remember to put it in the description box below so that you can check out my May Mayhem journal from last year. And it has like almost a 3-inch spine. But I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of room to add things. Okay, so this is our journal for this time. I will be working more on this closure to make it absolutely fabulous. And but we do have it. It is put on here, and we have a cover. So now we'll just move on to the next thing that we need to do. Oh, you know what? We need to add to close the pockets. I think it's time for a new glue. I think it's time for a new glue. That one doesn't look like it's totally new. But when I cleaned off my desk and cleaned out my drawers the other day, I put some glues in the drawer that I had too many glues on my desk. Sometimes you just don't have time to wait for the... So here, this is a new one. Okay. And so I'm just going to add my glue here to the two sides and press it down. So if you are here for the premiere, I'm waving. Hi, welcome. And if you are new to our channel, I am Julie. I'm the CEO and Queen Creator here at Dear Julie Julie, and also Dear Julie Julie DIY. And I love everything crafty. On this channel, we do paper crafting, and mostly it is junk journals. And so right now, while we are home, every day we have a premiere at 10:30. It is about the monthly challenge and the elements that we're making for that, and then some other flip throughs as I finish some of the journals and things that we have hanging around. Or occasionally, not lately, but usually shopping hauls. And then at 4 o'clock, we have our beginners junk journal series. And right now we are working on our Reader's Digest journal. And after that, we'll be doing a little golden book journal. And that is number 4 and number 5 in the journal series that we are doing for the beginners junk journal series. Love to have you join us at either one of those times, 10:30 or 4 Pacific Standard Time. Let's see. Also, we have a Facebook group called Scrap All About It with Dear Julie Julie. And while we're home, there is a free digital kit in the file section there that you are welcome to print and use. And it is part of the Beginner Junk Journal series. The third journal that I made was made using that digital kit. And so that's our Scrap All About It with Dear Julie Julie. If you are here during a premiere, you might be introduced to some of the other things that we get to do as a community. It's a lot of fun. Right now, this is our May Mayhem 2020 Junk Journal Challenge. If you decide to take on one of these challenges during the month and you finish them and you finish it on time, post your elements and your finished journal by the deadline, which this month is May 31st, you will get invited to a VIP, a virtual internet party, where in the group part of that party will be a digital. And the people that finished their March journal, they actually got the 1919 French Fashionista digital kit as their gift. And so that's something that you have to look forward to if you are working on your challenge and working on finishing that. So want to introduce you to that. So if you're interested in the details for the May Mayhem 2020 Junk Journal Challenge, details videos in the description box below. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you to everybody that comes and hangs out during the premieres. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that YouTube can tell you when we have a video posted. And, just in case we have the schedule, because sometimes YouTube isn't telling us. And so the other thing is, please go watch another video, one of these, or another video on YouTube, because YouTube really likes when you watch a video after you've watched a video. And it really helps my channel. Have an amazing day. And again, find something to celebrate every day. Bye. Bye-bye.